Messina and Jeff Morris of CJ Drone Systems.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, there we go. We are CJ Drone Systems, and we manufacture drones for a timelier last mile delivery. We are incorporated in the state of Tennessee. We are a limited liability company designing and manufacturing drones as a service for clients that operate here in the Mid-South. Companies that want to use our services will be able to see improvements in last mile and warehouse delivery time and cost. And before I go on further, a quick word from our president.
Thank you. My name is Connor Messina. I'm the president and co-founder of CJ Drone Systems, and this is Jeffrey Morris, my friend and partner in business, and also the vice president and co-founder as well. Between the two of us, we've got over 15 years of experience in the fields of cybersecurity, information technology, client advisory services, relations, sales, and marketing.
Let's get into the meat of this. So with every great business comes a great mission. And our mission here is to design, manufacture, and utilize drones that reduce client operating costs and enhance delivery systems for businesses and retail and online. So we will accomplish this through the use of beyond visual line of sight drones. They can carry payloads up to 11 pounds and deliver as far as 3 miles. The opportunity. According to Global Newswire, drone package delivery market size was estimated to be worth $477 million in 2024. In 2025, we're looking at $659 million. That's this year. By 2033, $878 million. That is an annual growth rate of about 38.2%. Now, numbers like these, this points to the beginning of a low altitude economy. If you were here the first time that we presented at Slice Midtown, we did not have anything tangible yet. But I do want to point out, this image here is not a stock photo. What this is our actual drone, our actual prototype that we will begin to use. So that's pretty exciting. Now, the bigger question, why choose Memphis as a place to start this whole operation? Memphis is a national and international distribution hub. Companies such as FedEx, UPS, the intermodal terminal, and not to mention that we have the second busiest cargo airport in the world. Memphis is also an ideal place for manufacturing as we have several companies that use CNC milling and medical grade machine tooling. In Tennessee, the electric rates are extremely competitive and it's very affordable to start a business for owners and investors. And I'll expound upon this in the next slide. So if you could, start with me from the left and work your way to the right. In Tennessee, almost half of the energy that we use in Tennessee is nuclear clean energy. Moving on further, we have the lowest electrical rate by cents per kilowatt hour in the top 10 nuclear states. Tennessee is a right to work state, and the state income tax, there is none, which is obviously great for investors and anybody else looking to get in on this business. Last but not least, of the industrial manufacturing centers in the top 10 nuclear states, Memphis has the lowest average industrial lease rate, $4.19 on average per square foot for brick and mortar. Affordability here in Memphis is obvious.
Let's talk about product differentiation. We're going to differentiate with our focus on the customer by offering customized drones to meet specific needs. For example, custom payload options, including weather-sealed deliveries. And by the way, 2 words for you regarding that: blood infusions. 2 things that are important for a blood infusion: timely delivery and climate control. Easily done with this kind of package here. As well as extended range options for the customers who quite literally need to go the extra mile. We also have the ability to scale production locally. By manufacturing, testing, and deploying locally, we can deliver more quickly for the regional mid-sized customers that we're focusing on, such as hospitals, retailers, and farmers all across the state. With our low-cost design, it'll be easier to scale production more rapidly and meet the demands of those smaller and medium-sized businesses before scaling up to meet the volume needed by large-scale movers. The regional first mover advantage is something that we have as well. None of the competitors in this space are operational in Tennessee or the Mid-South. So that kind of gives us a pretty big advantage, actually, starting out. By focusing regionally, we can build service networks more quickly, and we can forge partnerships with local logistics hubs that are here in Memphis, such as Fedex or agricultural suppliers across Tennessee. And of course, we have a focus on regulatory compliance, where we have several test corridors here in Tennessee, such as Oak Ridge, that are suited for demonstrating region-specific safety cases. So moving along, looking at the scale of the business. So with that being said, I'm going to tell you we're in the first phase. So we're talking small scale assembly, contract manufacturing, and the very first steps towards FAA certification. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So aside from facilities, equipment, tools, or workforce, FAA certification is one of our big projects that we're working on. And Part 135 certification involves those very same beyond visual line of sight operations that Jeffrey mentioned earlier. So with that, as well as building up our workforce, that's going to bring our total to what you see here for our first phase. So that's kind of the budget that we're looking at right now. Currently, we're in the process of building our very first prototype, a small image of which you saw earlier that Jeff pointed out. We're working on that. It's coming along nicely, but we're also looking to train and recruit people. So we want to further build out our operational capacity, and we're working on developing our supply chain as well. So for all those little gizmos, the vision that I can see for this, the big picture here, is the low altitude economy. This is a sector consisting of businesses and services, all conducted in the sky. So while we're focusing on logistics as our niche, I mean, this concept could extend to a lot of different things, including transportation, agriculture, emergency services especially, but perhaps even tourism as well. We're overall trying to strengthen a key industry here in the United States. Unmanned air systems are a big part of the future, and I don't think I can really overstate that personally, especially coming from that perspective. But in the end, I believe that we can create a lot of value with CJ drone systems and eventually deliver prosperity to our community. Thank you.
Yo,
Who is your competition, and like what downfalls have you guys seen that they may have that you guys can become better at?
So there are three main competitors that I see in this space currently, and most, if not all of those, are based in the US. There's Matternet, which I think they're based in LA. There's Zipline and Wing. Wing is a subsidiary of Alphabet. I'm sure you know what that is.
Google.
And they all operate in very specific large cities like Dallas, Austin, Boston, I think is one of them. A couple of overseas locations as well. Those are the main competitors that we see in the space, just because they do pretty much the same thing with slightly different technology.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
Were there any like ways that you see that you can grow what they do, like opportunities for growth, I guess?
I'm sorry, I couldn't quite understand you.
Are there any opportunities for growth that you see within those companies?
I think so. So by far the biggest challenge that I see with them, just observing their example, right? So the biggest challenge I see is scaling. It's easy to build the technical. Well, I mean, I won't say it's easy, but it's not the hardest part to build out the technology, right? Like, it's been around for decades. Only just now, battery capacity and whatnot is getting to the point where it's useful. Scaling is by far the most difficult part. And then I can't understate how difficult it is also currently to get FAA certification for Part 135, where those drone platforms, they can go without a direct visual observer. Because Jeff and I, sorry, I'm kind of going on a tangent here, I know, but Jeff and I are actually certified pilots through the FAA. We did our Part 107 test. And but even with that, so like even though we're able to do flights for commercial purposes, there still has to be somebody visually observing the drone, for safety, right? And to comply with regulation. Part 135 allows you to kind of get past that at that point, but it's a whole process. And most of those competitors, which I mentioned, Zipline, Matternet, Wing, they've either done that already and it cost them quite a bit, or they're currently trying to at that time. So I would say scaling. If to answer your question, that's where I would say there's opportunity for growth in those.